Hi guys, you're tuning into the Start and Select podcast. I'm joined by Colin, Stephen, Adam, and myself. I'm Nathan. So we just watched the PlayStation reveal event, and I just kind of want to see what we all got our opinions about it. But I think we have to start off with the PlayStation 5 design. Does anyone want to start off with this?
I'd be happy to. I think Nathan, you and Colin can go chill out for 10 minutes or so because I remember you guys saying that the design did not matter, yo. So, Stephen, what do you think? How do you feel about installing an extra room into your flat in order to hold the PlayStation? I think it's big, yo. It's very big.
Big boy.
It's a big boy. Yeah.
It's not necessarily big. It's very tall.
No, it's huge. It's about the size of the original Xbox.
No, it's taller than the original Xbox, but that's in terms of it is actually thinner, if you know what I mean. Like I think tall is the best way to describe it. It's not like chunky.
Well, it's thicker than the PS4.
Yeah. It's thick. It is thick. Like the comparison that they've done, I seen you sent it through, and I saw it the other day as well, Colin. Like they compared the disk drives, haven't they, of all the previous consoles, and kind of sized them up based on what an average disk drive. I'm assuming disk drives are all the same sizes, so
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty accurate, and it is. It's big. Like I think the design. I really like the design. I know Nathan, you got issues with the little flappy bits on top, like the thin bits, but I think it looks cool. But it's my issue is the size of it.
The digital version looks okay, and then the one with the actual the one with the dish tray, should I say? It just looks so out of place to me. Like I don't
It
know.
looks it looks tacked on.
It definitely looks tacked on. Like, I mean, the thing is with the design, you're either gonna love it or hate it. But I think it's done what it's supposed to do, and that is it is a conversation starter. Like, look how much people are going on about it already.
Free
Already,
advertising, innit?
exactly. Like a group of four of us, we've been debating this for a while now, and if it looks good, if it looks bad. But like I said, it's caused like a conversation starter. We've been talking about it already, and that's just the design itself. We're not even gone to the games yet. I think this is going to be the last generation which consoles are going to take disc. But should we get onto the games?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not first on my list here, but I want to start off with one of my personal favorite games that I saw in that event, and that was Ratchet and Clank. I mean, I was kind of blown away by it. I was expecting a Ratchet and Clank, and we got one. I was expecting, oh, okay, it's going to be more or less the same. The graphics are going to look better. It's going to look like another. People always say this already, but it's going to look like a Pixar movie. But from what I saw, from them jumping from different portals to different worlds within the time it took to load up the new world, it was kind of the PlayStation showing off what it can do, but also showing off what's next for Ratchet and Clank. I don't know about you guys, but I was very, very impressed.
I think it looked good. I didn't realize as well until after you'd said about jumping through the rifts or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
What I think the game's called Rift
Yeah,
Apart or something.
yeah, Rift Apart. So yeah, you're right.
I didn't realize that he was jumping from one world to the next. I thought it was like a sort of teleportation device within that level. I didn't realize that was like the loading. I think that's more impressive from PS5 to be honest with you than the game itself.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably what we're gonna see from a lot of games. Like I think it's Cyberpunk maybe that has said there's going to be no loading screens or next to virtually no loading screens.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of games are claiming that now. But what about you? What about you? What about Stephen and Colin? Did you guys not think that game looked impressive, or is it just not your kind of game?
Though it looked amazing. Like the gameplay, it looked so fast paced. It was like it was just non-stop, and the way he was just bouncing around, going through these portals, the speed of it really did show off how fast the PS5 is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think a game like Ratchet and Clank, it's not going to be the big headline kind of game, but I think it's important because what you got here is well, first off, you got a Sony exclusive, so that's one. And the second, it just looks like one of them. It's not going to be Horizon 2 kind of level of what people are going to see it as, but it's definitely one of those games that's going to be just about pure fun. But let's go. I don't know if you guys want to talk too much on this, but I'm not really I'm not looking forward to it too much, and that's GTA 5 on the PS5. I mean, we're talking about
It's another Elder Scrolls.
It's a PS3 game, isn't it?
It's a PS3 game and Xbox 360 game, right? And it's
Yeah.
coming to PS5. I mean, is anyone looking forward to that?
No.
No.
Not
How
at all.
much can you milk it, honestly?
I mean, I think that
Ridiculous.
Rockstar are going to make that money. To be honest, they will make money from it. But yeah, I can't say I'm looking forward to it too much. But another game they kicked off the event with, which is a big game, and that is Spider-Man. Well, I don't want to call it Spider-Man 2, but it's the next Spider-Man game. Whether it'll be a big DLC expansion pack or its own game, I'm not too sure on that. Do you guys know?
Yeah, they've already announced that to treat it like Lost Legacy. An
Right.
expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, they already announced that.
Yeah, Insomniac said it'll only be half the length of the original game, I think.
Right.
So
I
it's
mean-
not going to be a big one.
I mean, did you guys play the original Spider-Man game?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think of it? Because with the original Spider-Man, I thought that was. I'm trying to think, but it's probably because I like it better than the Batman games, and I rate the Arkham games very, very high. But I love Spider-Man more than them, so I definitely rank it quite high in terms of superhero games. I don't know what you guys think.
I only played it for a little bit, but I preferred Spider-Man 2.
Right? The Spider-Man the movie too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the actual web slinging in that I
Right.
think was much better.
Oh yeah, it was definitely more detailed, and you got to use the physics more than this one. But I
Yeah.
think I think this game kind of got the balance between going too realistic and then and also making it fun to play as a game.
Yeah.
But it's definitely there's definitely rights and wrongs to both kind of arguments and that. I mean, what about you, Stephen? I know you completed it, right?
Yeah, I loved it. It's like the best part for me was like, well, the combat was awesome in it. The graphics
Right.
were amazing. Loved the web swinging, but like the story for me
Yeah, I
was
agree.
fucking amazing. Honestly.
I agree.
Fucking hell.
I agree. Like, I think if that was a movie, I think a lot of people would have liked it. No, they used that kind
Yeah,
of
definitely.
storytelling. I mean, Adam, I don't know if you. Last time I spoke to you about it, you weren't the biggest fan of Spider-Man, but you are a big fan of the. I know this is not really too relevant, but the CGI one, with Miles, Spider
Into the
Interface.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it's a Spider. I mean, would this tempt you to like play this or buy this because it's carrying on to Miles' storyline now?
I don't agree with you guys. I think Spider-Man for me was a 7 out of 10.
Right.
And I get what you mean comparing it to Batman, but I think that style of combat for me is really repetitive and boring. The only thing that set Spider-Man apart was the web swinging, which I did enjoy. Like Steven said, I thought it was really good.
Right.
In terms of the add-on, the Miles Morales, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
Like Into the Spider-Verse was one of my favorite Spider-Man films, but I don't
Yeah, I
think
agree.
it's enough to drag me back into the actual series because I know, whilst the story might be quite interesting, the issue for me is that I've got to swing to my next location, I'll learn a new power or I'll level something up or I'll learn a new skill, but the combat is the same. It's that square, triangle to parry or whatever it is, do you know what I mean? And for
Right.
me, it's just too repetitive.
It's the Assassin's Creed sort of combat, isn't it?
Which is ironic because that's one of my favourite franchises.
I know.
But I
Yeah.
think that that's because it's more historical and factual. And I think that just draws me in more.
I don't know. I think the gadgets changed the gameplay up for me. It's like it makes you forget about the square, triangle stuff. Like the gadgets for me actually made it, and like webbing people off buildings and stuff.
I did think that was
Just
cool.
changed it up a bit.
You're probably right. And maybe I didn't give it. I played it quite a bit, but maybe I just didn't. I stuck with the boring stuff and kind of fucked myself up, really.
Well, I think what puts a lot of people off games like Spider-Man, not just if you take away the superhero side to it, it is another sandbox game with towers. You scan the towers and it reveals the map. You know, like Assassin's
Ubisoft
Creed.
Towers.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are just getting fed up with them kind of like games now. But
Yeah.
for me, Spider-Man, the coat of this, the fresh paint of Spider-Man covered it. It was enough for me to like really like the game. But I think we can all agree though that this Miles game is a massive game for Sony. And I think it's coming out in the launch, isn't it?
Yeah, that's,
Holiday.
I
yeah,
think that's
if it's launch, it might actually like get me to buy a PS5 on day one.
Ooh,
Right. Oh,
that's how
yeah.
biggie. That's how biggie.
Because that's how much I love that Spider-Man game.
Would you
And
say
Mighty and
it's,
Miles as well.
would you say it's top 5 for the PS4 then, in terms of games?
Games. Oh.
Because there's some contenders there.
I
The
was
fact
gonna
that you
say,
said
it's up
that,
there.
the fact that you said that is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Sony basically did their job right, and didn't they? Because they literally opened
Console
up
seller.
that. Yeah, and that's what they want to do. I want to go to the next game, and I want to go straight to you, Colin, actually, because on the last podcast you kind of called it, and to be fair, I'll give you credit for it. And you said they're going to show the next Gran Turismo, and that's what that's exactly what they did. I mean, what do you think of it? Was you impressed by it, or?
It looked like I was watching an actual car driving. It looked real, I thought. And I think it is just showing how powerful the machine is. That's all Gran Turismo is to me, really. Like, I'm not going to get it, but it's a game which shows off the machine itself.
Yeah, and that is exactly what you said last podcast as well.
Yeah.
And I also did say that I don't think it's gonna get a release date. Rich, I don't think it did it? I think it got like a time window in terms of like it's coming out 21, I think they said.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that game's gonna just be delayed. But I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, what about you guys? Do you guys think it was impressive, the graphics that we saw?
Yeah, I think it looked amazing. I've always, like when I was a kid, I used to play like was it 2 or 3 on the PlayStation 2, and I loved it. But I think now, if I was going to get it, I need like the steering wheel and stuff.
Right.
It's like a simulator, isn't it? So
Yeah.
You know,
but
I
it's
think
like just more money.
for me, I forgot about Gran Turismo Sport, and I looked at it after we'd done the last podcast and remembered that I actually had it and I played it quite a lot. And I thought it was awesome. It was a really fun game, and I don't like driving games. Like, I've played Forza a bit, but I was more kind of Burnout rather than an actual simulator.
Yeah.
Like arcade sort of.
Yeah. But seeing that trailer, and I watched it yesterday, the day before again, just to refresh my memory. I was like, yeah, that's a game that I could possibly get as well. I think it'd be interesting to see if it comes out on PS4. I doubt it will, but you know, I think that's going to be a big console mover for PlayStation.
Yeah, massively.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. The reason why it was on this event for me is just to show off the graphics, and you know, this is what the PlayStation 5 can do. I don't think we're going to see that for a long time though. I don't think we'll see that game for a while, but it is in the works. It's coming, so that's enough to get people on board.
Yeah.
Another game I want to talk about, which I'm not sure you guys were a big fan of the last ones, but Little Big Planet, it's getting its own spin-off now. Was it Sackboy? It's Sackboy
Sackboy Adventures or something.
Yeah, I thought this looked awesome. I really like this game. It's nothing to do with creativity. It's just, this is an adventure game. You go have fun.
I thought it looked great. It looks like a game that you play with your girlfriend or your kid, and you just play together.
Right. It looks like this sort of fun knowing you play like old school kind of games like Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be as good as like them kind of games, but it just looks like a 3D platforming kind of game with its own kind of personality.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys played Terraway, another IP that they made. It was on the theater only though.
Yeah.
They did eventually. That was a brilliant game as well. Like, I
really
love that.
clever.
So if you think of it this way, I mean, I don't know why it took me so long to realize that Little Big Planet is a 2D. It's actually 2D, and then for some reason it took me ages to realize that this is 3D and it's going to play completely different. But I do have a lot of faith in that company. Hopefully that'll be another good game.
Was it still Media Molecule?
Yeah, it's still them. I don't know how they've had time to do it since they just released the Dreams not too long ago. But yeah, I mean, should we get to some of the little games? Like, when I say little, I just mean like indie games. I mean, because they're showing off a lot of like indie games. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the one with the cat, Stray, it was called.
That looked great.
That looked quite interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I was very confused by this trailer because I was thinking I didn't actually think the cat itself was going to be like the character you control, but the world they shown through the cat's eyes was so fascinating with the robots and how they're living their lives and stuff like that. I mean, what do you guys take from it?
I think for me, it's good to see them venturing into new IPs. Like and we've had this conversation loads of times. I think I have with all of you. But my issue with gaming now is that everything's been made and they're just rehashing it. So when I see new IPs like this, I think, yeah, okay. And it's a cat walking around some fucking streets. You know what I mean? That's not interesting. But it's new, and that engages me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you guys, Colin and Stephen, do you guys find this interesting, or is it something that you keep an eye on?
I'm on board with Adam. It's like something that's brand new. It's like you're going to have a new experience. It's risky, but you don't know. It could very well pay off, and they can make more along the way. So keep an eye on it, definitely.
It's fresh, and I don't think there's another game where you're a cat.
Yeah. It's not many anyway. It can't be many.
So I think it's going to be great. And the world, to start with, I thought it was like a cyberpunk sort of thing.
Right, yeah. But the world is shown.
Yeah, with humans being extinct and robots being the civilization. I think it looked really good.
I think Colin's right. Like the design looks epic as well. I didn't mention that the design looks really good.
No, I don't think it's sell because like you see like people interested with all these cat videos and like YouTube and stuff like that. And like people just be intrigued. I was like, I can get to play a cat and do some funny stuff maybe. I don't know.
I reckon if they've got like a photo mode in it or something, it'll sell really well.
It's funny you say that, Stephen, because I've seen two people on Facebook who've shared images of it and been like, "Oh my god, this looks great." Who've never in a million years would have thought they'd be interested in games, but they like cats, so it works.
Really weird.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy when you say it, but like with it being a cat, and it's not just any cat. He's got like a backpack on or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's already got a bit of character, and this is only kind of like a CGI trailer to show us what we've got, what we can look forward to. But yeah, it gets a thumbs up for me. I mean, not all games are meant to be big hitters, like I said before, but this just looks like it's going to feel like a niche kind of audience sort of thing. And so you need games like this on your console.
Definitely.
But in terms of like other indie games, I'm going to forget a couple of indie games, but if you guys want to bring any up, then bring this and go for it. But the one that I was mostly impressed with was Little Devil. Do you guys remember that game?
Remind us.
It was the one. Yeah, it was the one when it was kind of showing like a youngish man with the graphics were very. I think they were kind of like black and white-ish, but then it went back to like an old man in his house. I don't quite get what.
When he has a toilet thing.
Yeah,
that looked good. Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you what the gameplay is because from the trailer we saw so many different kind of gameplays, kind of like angles, like. But it looked really interesting. It looked very clever, and I'm kind of glad the trailer didn't tell us too much, but shown enough. Do you know what I mean? And because it's shown gameplay, like there's no doubt about that. But I'm kind of looking forward to like what kind of this game's kind of develop into.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys can remember it too much, but like there was one part was like gameplay was like 2D, and then another part he was carrying someone on his back, and then another part he was going to war against an army. But like it looked really interesting. I felt.
I like the part when he was chasing the bear with the arrows.
Exactly. Yeah, I
like that.
I completely forgot about that.
It looks like it's going to be some sort of action adventure kind of semi-platformer RPG. But I was reading about it then, and apparently the guys who made it was actually a Kickstarter years ago, and it was scheduled for release on the Wii U.
Wow.
But it never came out.
Wow, so it's been in development for a while then.
Well, yeah, it's just a small indie company. I don't know if Sony's done something with them, injected them with shitloads of money or taken them over, but sounds like it's been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
I think the other indie game shown that I was interested in was that Solar Ash.
Which one was that?
It looked kind of like a Journey sort of a game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I
mean,
wasn't too impressed by that.
No, I wasn't. But tell us why. What made you interested with it, Stephen?
I don't know. I said it just reminded me of Journey, and I like loved that game just purely because like the graphics and like the colours.
Yeah,
And
it does
everything
look
like
very
that.
like yeah, it does look like a relaxing kind of game, like one of them kind of games.
And it
But
seems to have like more of a story to it as well. So I keep an eye on that one as well.
yeah, I mean, didn't they just release a game not too long ago that was kind of the same kind of art stylish, but it was a completely different game. But
Was it
you could-
Fury?
I can't remember the name, but you could be right on that, yeah. But I'm not too sure. But
I like the
anyway,
art style of it, but I'm not I'm not sold on the gameplay.
right.
Mm.
I mean, well, with our next game, I know every single from what I've read, if you buy a PlayStation 5, it comes with the system, and this is a game that you're very familiar with, Adam, and that's Astrobot Playroom. Well, that's what this one's titled as. I mean, how do you feel with this one being added onto the PlayStation system? Do you think it's going to just come across as a tutorial kind of game, or do you hope it's got its own kind of game identity?
No, I think it's already established an identity. Like I'm calling Astrobot as what Little Blue Planet was a few years ago. Do you know when it kind of semi became the mascot for Sony? And Astrobot was the mascot for the VR, I think. And I'm disappointed. Well, we don't know, but well, it's not in VR, is it? They may
No.
release one soon, but so that's a bit disappointing. But I think the game itself was so unique and interesting, and the things that you could do on it, like the use the touchpad, like what games use the touchpad, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, on the PS4 pad, and that was great, and it's so fun. The characters have got a lot of kind of character themselves. They've got personalities, even though they're these little robots. And the platform in itself was fun, like the bad guys, the boss fights, like yeah, no, I'm happy about that. I mean, I'm disappointed it's not being released as a full game, but I'm not going to judge it. Like it's good that it's coming out with the PS5.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, one good thing to come from it is at least every single PlayStation 5 owner is going to have it, right? So they can try it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think it's going to be like what Wii Sports was for the Wii, where it shows you basically everything that a console does in a game, like all the little like the touchpad or whatever.
yeah,
It'll use all the gimmicks that the console has.
like this is the controller. You can do this sort of thing, like because
Yeah,
I know
but
the
it'll have a
control.
game
Yeah,
connected to it.
yeah, of course. Like you to get through the level, you'll have to do something with the control pad just to get you used to it, sort of thing. But I do hope it comes across as more as like a tutorial sort of thing. I hope it is like one of the first couple of levels.
I'm a bit offended by that. Like it was a game within its own right. You know what I mean? To water it down like that, I think it's a bad move, because it was a sick platforming game. Like the platforming was fun, and if it turns out to be something like Wii Sports, then I will be disappointed.
I thought Wii Sports was really good.
Bowling and tennis. What
Well,
else
we all loved it when it first came out.
Just troll
Wait, we
podcast.
were
We
like
all loved the Wii when it
14,
first came
13,
out.
12 or whatever we were.
I think we all loved the Wii when it came out, and that didn't last too long.
And that was a gimmick.
But yeah, it's the next game now. I don't know if you guys remember. It was let me just look at my notes now if I can remember. Or is it?
Well, I'd like to talk about one.
Go on.
Destruction All Stars.
I was just about to say that.
That
What you
looks
reckon? Free
so
to play?
good. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a killer move, Stephen. That would be an absolute killer move.
You got battle pass. You got your cars. You got your outfits. You got your characters.
I'd
That might be
buying
the,
that
yeah.
season pass.
Battle Royale I was talking about when Sony have got their own
Oh,
IP as a Battle Royale.
Yeah,
That's it.
were wrong, yo.
That's the one.
Don't
Free to
try and
play.
fuck me,
Sony only.
Well, in terms of this being like it potentially it could be free to play, I think hell no. This is not free to play. This game
Yeah.
is not gonna be free to play. That is like downgrading this game, man. Before
Right,
it's-
you're going to like what? It's not going to really have a story mode, is it? If you're
No.
just in an arena.
Well,
The
You gonna
amount of
buy-
skins and stuff it has.
this to me screams Rocket League. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Yeah, that was free to play when it started.
I think you're wrong. It's more Fortnite than it is Rocket League. It's more random, messy Mario Kart than it is Rocket League. Rocket League, there is no. If you mess up on Rocket League, it's your fault. If you mess up on this game, it's going to be because some clowny thing happened.
No, I get that. Like in terms like Rocket League, you know, it's a very high skill ceiling sort of game. But like You can play Rocket League. Is it can you do 4v4 now? Or is the most 3v3?
No, you
You can
can
do
do 4v4. Yeah.
Like you can just have, some people just play it, have a mess around. They don't quite know how to play properly, but they have fun playing it. That's kind of what I kind of get from this. It's like an online multiplayer game that you can play for a bit. You'll have some fun. I can't see it being free to play. It's to me, this screams one of them 15.99 kind of games to me.
This
Nah.
to me,
Our
it's
PS5 thought it was going to be like 50, 60 quid, I think, regardless.
it's Twisted Metal with a Fortnite skin, and it's
Yeah,
good.
that's a good comparison. So.
It's gonna make its money through loot boxes and skins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think, whilst I agree with you, Stephen, and you, Colin, I think that would be a brilliant business plan. I still think Sony are too greedy to drop stuff like that, especially an exclusive. They're not going to be making any exclusives free, I don't think.
No, I can't.
I
see
don't
them doing
know,
that.
like with how much money Fortnite and Apex and even Call of Duty are making. I think they need like a free-to-play game where they make the money off skins and.
Yeah, it's like they've not announced it's a PS5 exclusive, have they? So we can just easily get cross-play into it, get everyone on board on the battle pass. Be raking the money back way easily.
Yeah, I mean, what you said there, Stephen, is actually I do believe that. Like, I think crossplay is a must now. In terms of PlayStation 5, crossplay in terms of multiplayer is a must. Like, we saw it not too long ago with Apex. They just announced they're going to do crossplay now. Fortnite's already crossplay. I think going forward, I can't see a multiplayer game not being crossplay and it's surviving. No, as much as it would if it was crossplay. I mean. Yeah, for me, I think going forward in terms of PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, I think crossplay has to be a must now. And if this game has crossplay, then it's gonna have more than enough like room to breathe and grow and see how it develops and stuff like that.
On
But-
that point, though, it won't. I don't think. I'm fairly certain it won't be crossplay. I'm fairly certain it is Sony exclusive because it's Lucid Games who are making it. I was looking at it yesterday. Lucid Games are making it, and they're doing it in development with Sony Interactive Entertainment. So
Right.
fairly certain it is. I know it's not been announced. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I remember reading that they were doing it with Sony Interactive Entertainment, so I think it will be exclusive.
Well, I think that's just a bit. I think that's a pretty cool exclusive. I mean, we don't know how big it'll be, but it's a cool exclusive at the moment. I'm looking forward to that game. Other titles that have got announced, not necessarily glued to Sony or even PlayStation exclusive, but we had Resi 8 announced on this event. That's a
Ooh.
massive game.
Fat boy Chris, bust the plane, yo.
Sean Bean Chris came in at the end.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it's called Village, Resident Evil Village. I mean, what do you guys think of it?
Look fucking awesome, man.
Tell us,
Amazing.
what is it you like about it?
I don't know, just like, the trailer when you saw like that like werewolf kind of zombie thing in it.
Yeah,
Like, that thing looked amazing. Them like weird sisters, the three women or
Witches.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. And when they outshot, just after the title when they showed like the village, then like the castle part above.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean-
hope we can delve into that. I don't know.
I don't know about you. Did you get like shades of Resi 4 here?
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say,
definitely,
yeah,
100%.
Massive
It's,
vibe.
yeah, like I mean, to me it looks like it's got shades of Resi 4 in there, which is always a good thing considering how well that game sold multiple times on different consoles. The amount of times that game's been re-released is ridiculous, but that's really good. The fact that we got a Resident Evil game that did so well with Resi 7 with the family, the Baker family, that was really interesting. But now we're getting witches and werewolves. I can't believe I'm saying that in Resident Evil 8, you know what I mean? Like, how has it come to this? And I'm loving it, me. I can't wait. I think the trailer they shown, I thought I'm assuming they're the witches. We heard rumors that there's going to be witches. They look like witches to me. They look really cool. The way the trailer built up to the end bit with the werewolf, that was awesome. I mean, to me, this gets like a good solid 9 out of 10, this trailer.
I'm not a Resi player. Like, I've not played since 4, and that was the main one I played. I played 1 and 2, but didn't really bother with 3. But I agree with everything Steven said. Like, it's got me hyped to play Resi 8.
Yeah.
I love the way they've gone first person with Resi.
I'm still on that one,
Yeah.
I found 7 hard to get into, to be honest.
Would you guys say that this trailer is kind of made you want to go back and play Resi 7.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so big.
It-
It's left a big impression then.
Thing with this one, it doesn't look as scary as Resi 7.
Right.
Like Resi 7 looked, it looked scary to play. Like I remember you making me play the demo,
Yeah.
like in a dark room on my own.
Yeah, with the headphones on.
Yeah.
That
I
was a
don't
weird
think-
invitation. He comes to my house and I leave him on his own with no lights on.
And just being like, play this.
Yeah, play this. This game is awesome. And that was just the demo. But I mean, you got to remember, people had a lot of like criticisms. People were very worried when Resi 7 was announced because there was no zombies, right? So I'm kind of get the same kind of vibe from this game. But because Resi 7 did so well, I've got faith in this one now.
I like how Resi's like changing it up as well, not keeping the same formula.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other games do these days. Like every Assassin's Creed is basically the same. Every Batman's the same. This like Resi's like changing each of the games up.
Whoa, I think that's a bit harsh, Joe.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
can't
no, I
just
actually
come out
agree with
as
Colin on that one.
going
Like,
on.
I'm not a
bro.
big fan of like the first person stuff, but I'm glad they risked it. And a lot of people
Like,
liked
not
it.
not enough big developers take risks like
Mm.
Capcom are doing with this.
I get what you're saying. It was definitely a big like turn up in terms of like Resi going to first person. I don't think it's fair to like hate on Assassin's Creed like that. Or
I was using it as an example.
Yeah.
The way the gameplay and all of them are basically the same.
Okay. I don't agree with that, but I get your
Uh.
point. But I don't agree with that. I think I think games can carry on, and they don't have to. I don't think every game has to switch.
No,
But I do get what you're saying. To go from third person to first person is a big change.
Yeah.
In terms of other titles, also, we got Resi 8. We even got Hitman 3. I mean, again, not necessarily a PlayStation exclusive, but a big game. I mean, I don't know if you guys played the first two. I love the first two. I played the first one. I wanted to play the second one.
I only played the first one.
Yeah. What did you guys think of it?
I
The
thought
trailer, sorry.
that was one where I came away after we'd watched it, and I was hyped for that. Like,
Yeah.
it's good. And in true Hitman style as well. Do you know what I mean? Not too much was given away, but we know Agent 47's there, and that's I'm hyped for that. That's a big one for me. That was when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, yes.
Yeah, because I remember speaking to you after the event, and that was your first title you wanted to talk about, and I was kind of surprised, but I do get it. It looked really good. I mean, I think the trailer just shows Agent 47, and then it shows stuff like, is it Dubai, and then it shows like the big skyscraper sort of kind of setting. I mean, that's all you kind of need. Like, this is Hitman. These are your levels. And we all know Hitman, in terms of levels, you can play it any kind of way you want to play it. Like, I'm going to play this level completely different than what you're going to play, Adam, or what you're going to play, Stephen, or even you, Colin. I think Hitman's kind of got that kind of like creativity. What about you, Stephen, and Colin, Stephen? Do you guys think it looked good? Are you guys Hitman fans, or
I can't play Hitman games.
why?
I know
It stressed me out. It stressed me out too much.
They're like
I
the
can play
most,
them.
Good.
they're like very brutal in a way. Like, you can't.
No.
They're not hard because you can't beat them. The objective is like to kill. You got to kill this guy. It's never really hard to kill that guy. It's just the ways to kill that guy that makes it hard.
Yeah,
In
I'd
my
say-
eyes, yeah.
The sneaking about, it stresses me out so bad. Like I played the Hitman demo on the PS4, whatever the most recent one was, and I got into the guy's house and I just started panicking, and I ended up just like
You
shooting
started
people.
blasting.
Yeah, just started blasting.
I agree with Colin. Like, it's stressful playing Hitman, but that's why I like it. I like games that are immersive. Do you know what I mean? Like you guys love Resi because like Resi 7, you were saying then before about how frightening it was. For Hitman, that's stressful for me. That's why I like it though, because you've got so many different options, and the missions are so iconic as well. And I'm hoping for some more. Like Hitman 1 was really good. I never played 2, but like a lot of the missions in Hitman 1 weren't really that iconic, I thought, and it'd be good to see some more decent missions come back.
Yeah. like if you play the old Hitman games, like the very old ones, there's always someone that remembers a certain level. Like for me, it was the Mafia like mansion.
Yeah.
Some,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, I mean, and then some people do remember. I think it was Hitman 3. I could be wrong on that, but it was like a nightclub, but it's like a
Yeah.
gimp nightclub sort of
Yeah.
thing.
You had the
Yeah,
dungeon underneath and the birthday clown mission in
yeah, yeah.
the guy's garden.
Yeah, we just need some of them, really, don't we? Like, you
Mhm.
get some memorable levels. Hitman, the gameplay's there. The gameplay's always been there. Just need them memorable levels. And like I said, from that trailer, that the buy level looked absolutely stunning, and I
Mhm.
can't wait to play it. But should we talk about the big boy?
The
The
big
big
boy.
boy. Let's be honest. They even ended the event with this game, and that's Horizon 2. Is this game as big as they think it is?
No, it's not as good as they
No.
think it is.
Why is that?
Go on, Steven. You go for it.
Well, I think it does look amazing, but I don't think it's. I don't know. It's like what you were trying to compare it with, like a God of War or something. It's just not going to be something like that.
See, I compare it to. This is gonna sound strange. I compare it to Halo, not because they're anything alike, but Halo is gonna be
Then
their
no.
big game. It's basically Halo versus Horizon 2 at this point. Like
No.
they're launching with Halo,
I
and
think
they're
God of
launching with
War's
Horizon 2.
PlayStation, no.
Yeah, God of War. Well, like obviously I know it's not sold as well, but Spider-Man or God of War.
No, no, no. I don't mean in terms of how popular the game is or how people see it, like prestige. But I'm on about like because they're going to be launching with Halo at the Xbox, and they're going to be launching roughly. I don't know if it will be on the launch date. I think they would like it to be, but if it's not, it can't. It's not too far off 'cause it's coming out this year. They said Horizon 2 is coming out with the PlayStation 5, so it's literally going to be that's their big headliner and Halo's Xbox big headliner. Like, do you think them two games are gonna clash?
No.
No.
Completely different games, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not seeing the comparisons there.
No, just exclusives. They're both their own exclusive. That's their biggest exclusive, and that's their biggest exclusive.
Like
Horizon's
launch day
basically
exclusives.
yeah, like so if you're buying a PlayStation, you're gonna want a big exclusive game to want that console, and let's be honest, that's Horizon 2. But yeah, my wife loves Horizon. She's playing it. I think it looks really good. I like Halo. I'm not the biggest fan of it anymore, but I know how big and popular it is. But these games are going to determine some people's like, are they going to buy the PlayStation 5 or are they going to buy the new Xbox? I mean, I think for me, I think the name Halo is like bigger, but I think Horizon graphically looks insanely good, and I don't think Halo can match that just because of how colorful Horizon is. I mean, you saw the trailer. They had so many different kind of like they had the sea life in there. They had, and obviously they got the cool robots. The world looks very looks alive. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was impressed by it. Like even I didn't actually think it was Horizon when the trailer first started. When it had the crab like eating away at the fish, and then it turned out to be Horizon. Like I was really impressed by that game. I mean, we yet to see Halo in terms of like their big exclusive launch title, but I think this could beat out Halo in a way.
I agree. I think Halo's had its day. Like when was the last time any of yous bought Halo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
like
It's on the
absolutely.
Game Pass.
it's just two the same, no, isn't it?
Like it's been going for best part of 20 years, and that's what they're trying to sell a new console on.
So going off the trailer from what we've seen from Horizon 2, do you think this is enough to convince like casual gamers over Halo? Because even casual people, casual gamers, they're gonna know what Halo is, and
Man,
they know how big
Spider-Man
it is.
convinced me already. Even though it's an expansion, I think it will smack Halo out of the water, man.
Yeah.
I think I think what Sony's done, they don't need one thing. They've got multiple things to do it.
Right.
And they've,
Um,
they've been clever because the amount of indie games and the different types of indie games and things appealing to casual gamers like Spider-Man,
They've
like
got
they've covered all the
Spider-Man, Gran
bases.
Turismo.
Yeah,
Got
Gran
GTA
Turismo.
5, that's free online or
Fucking
something
hell,
like that. I know it's
Jesus.
nothing, but it's going to get people on it, aren't we? You got a free game to play on launch.
So you've got like a collection of games against Halo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. I
Until we
think.
see this next Xbox event or whatever, whenever it comes.
Yeah, I
to
think
convince us otherwise.
you're going a bit ahead of yourself. I mean, we need to see the other half of the argument first, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it could be very bad, but you got to remember, Xbox or Microsoft, they have got some pretty good games like cooking up. I mean, whether they're ready or not, we don't know. I mean, we're hearing rumors of Perfect Dark. We're hearing rumors of Banjo-Kazooie somehow coming back.
Just
We'll have to wait and
guess.
see.
So we're hearing rumors of Rare. Yeah. I don't know about
Basically,
Xbox. This is Rare, isn't it?
25-year-old IPs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Nothing
Perfect
new.
Dark or
Bring
Banjo-Kazooie will
back
be made by
GoldenEye.
Mm.
Rare. But I don't think these games were going to be made by Rare. I think Rare's kind of
No.
gone now.
Yeah. they've
But
got-
but Perfect Dark, I can't remember who. I don't know who's going to be behind Perfect Dark. But we will have to wait and see whether they come up with nothing or come up with a lot. We don't know. But I think you're right. I think Sony, they have a lot of exclusives compared to Microsoft, which do have exclusives, but they're kind of exclusives that are kind of were in the Xbox 360 days.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think Sony are looking like at the future, and Microsoft are like using their past. So they're using what they've already got instead of actually bringing out new stuff.
Right. I mean, sorry, go on, Adam.
I was just gonna say, looking back, like I remember Xbox had some good exclusives, particularly the 360, but it wasn't the exclusives that kept us playing Xbox games. I think Sony has always had better exclusives. For me, playing the Xbox 360, like the reason that won that generation's war was because of how well they treated the customers, the UI, and the online. Like for me, that's what won that war. The third-party games were enough to keep me playing Xbox.
It was
Without
Xbox
having-
Live with the
without-
party chats and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
PS3 didn't get party chats for a long time.
yeah. I mean, I think the PS3 had a rough start, but let's go back to Horizon. So, was this as good as it? Is it as good as they think it was? Then, Adam, I know you was gonna say something before.
For me, Horizon, the biggest thing it gave me, and I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but it made me realize how much I miss Uncharted and how much I want a new Uncharted. Because the first 30 seconds of that trailer, like me, Colin, and Steven were pretty much watching it, and I was Uncharted. When I seen that playing, like, I think it crashed into the hillside or something. I was like, "Oh, Drake,
Yeah,
where
I
are
thought
you?
so.
Come on, Nathan, where are you?" And then they just seen some fucking AI dinosaurs. I was like, "Oh, fuck this shit, man."
For me, it makes me want to go back and play the first one again because I never got around playing the DLC. So
Right.
it's probably something I'd be doing soon or eventually. So
Right.
Um,
Sorry, Colin. What are you saying?
no, I never actually got round to playing the first one, but it had those like towers in it again, didn't it?
Yeah. It was a tower.
Yeah.
game.
I've only played, I think, one game that actually does towers like that well, and that
Assassin's Creed.
no.
I agree. Assassin's Creed is
Breath of the Wild does the
Assassin's
towers
Creed.
the only way I
It's
like
available on Stadia now as well, guys.
The thing with Assassin's Creed, it always reminds me. I don't know if it was number 1 or 2, but I climbed this tower for so long. You do your scan, it reveals the map, and then you jump off this building, and it's a tall ass building into like a into like a little stack of hay, and I was
it.
like,
Yeah.
that is Assassin's Creed all over that. But this was an old one. This was Assassin's Creed 2, I think it was. But I understand why people get annoyed with these kind of tower, we've climb a tower or scan a tower and it reveals the map sort of thing. But I think Horizon, it was received very well. You know what I mean? Like it is like a very well received game. I don't know how big, I don't know if it's as big as they think it is, but I think Horizon 2 will sell a lot of copies.
This has been Colin, Adam, Stephen, and Nathan, and you've been listening to the Start Select podcast. GG's.
GG's.
GG's.